Help support Chris and Zach Attack by liking and sharing all of our content, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all your latest video game news and updates. Hello friends, it's Chris.
It's Zach.
And welcome to Chris and Zach Quick Attacks.
Quick Attacks.
This is the show where we find a news topic that intrigues us during the week, and we talk about it in a very much short time span, 10 to 15 minutes, versus our normal half-hour to hour.
2 hours. 5 hours.
20 hours. Anyway, we're going to talk about BioWare for a little bit here.
Yeah. They've been popping up a lot. It's like BioWare. Get out of the news, BioWare. Stop it.
Well, I mean, when you come out with one of the shittiest games of the year, well, not really that, but one of the most disappointing games of the year. How about that? There
definitely that. Yeah.
Yeah, you come out with the most hyped video game to become the most disappointed video game.
Ooh, yeah.
And then also to release footage and all that, really announce like another highly anticipated game coming out next year sometime.
Once I think you're out, you pull me back in. There, this one works. I'm out, BioWare. BioWare, I'm out. Oh, Anthem? What? Oh, what are you talking about? What is this? Ooh. But no, not Anthem. Not yet. Mass Effect.
We're going to talk
Andromeda.
about Mass Effect Andromeda real quick because it was reported. I got this off GameStop, who I think got it off Kotaku. I can't remember, but
yeah, I think it did break on Kotaku.
Okay, so there's going to be no single player DLC for Mass Effect Andromeda, which in all reality makes a lot of sense. So.
Yeah, because when I first heard about the story, it was initially reported that the single player DLC was canceled. So it was like, oh, well, that's too bad. But then it got updated saying like there was actually no single player DLC planned at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know which is worse, like having DLC and getting it canceled, or just straight up not even caring about DLC at all.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of funny, especially with this type of series, because the Mass Effect trilogy, each one of those games had conclusive single player DLC coming out with it. Mass Effect 1, I think, had one DLC like continuation continuation that was actually pretty solid. If you ask me, I play it every time I replay Mass Effect. I always end up playing that one first. Yeah, that particular DLC first. But and then Mass Effect 2 had tons of DLC. Not only cosmetic, but there were also 2 companion DLCs, which were really, really good. There was the Shadow Broker DLC, which was freaking amazing. Like, got you to play with Liara again. And then there was also I can't remember what it was actually called, but it was the DLC that pretty much like tailed. It pretty much like bookend, segued the story into Mass Effect 3. That's the word I was looking for.
Yes, segue.
And which brought the Arrival of the Reapers. Oh, Arrival DLC, that's what it was called.
Hey.
But yeah, and then Mass Effect 3 had a bunch of DLC as well. I mean, despite the controversial ending that it had, it still had some pretty solid DLC for single player. Brought some more lore on the Reapers, all that stuff. It was really, really good stuff. Now Mass Effect Andromeda, a game I have not beat because fuck that game, is not getting DLC for a number of reasons. Number one, when we reported this on this before, Andromeda is not getting any more real support. In fact, the entire Mass Effect series is on the shelf. Yeah,
it's pretty sad to see them basically. I mean, it's even kind of more so now that they've announced a new sci-fi series in Anthem.
Yep.
So, like, they're talking about Mass Effect, no single-player DLC, none even planned. They put it on the shelf, so it's kind of like maybe this is the end of the Mass Effect series completely.
Maybe, hopefully not.
I mean, hopefully not, because I mean, I still think it has a lot. You can pull a lot from the Mass Effect series.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of sad to see how it kind of just didn't really go out with a bang or anything. It just kind of
drizzled
got
away.
Shat out by EA. They pooped out. They took a shit one day and it was Mass Effect Andromeda. Oh, what is? Gotta wipe my ass. Oh, Mass Effect Andromeda. It's gross.
Do the full release. Here we go.
Throw it out.
But yeah, and as we all know, I mean, that's one of the reasons. Another reason is obviously because when Mass Effect Andromeda did release, it was riddled with a ton of issues. The faces, there's a bunch of bugs. It was just insane.
Yeah, and I also heard one of the other reasons is because they're saying oh, there's no more DLC for Mass Effect Andromeda. Well, they're saying a lot of the people who worked on Mass Effect Andromeda are on different projects currently, so it's
that's
they can't come
reason
in.
Too.
Yeah.
When they announced they put Mass Effect on the shelf, they also announced that they downsized BioWare Montreal, which is the developer that worked on Mass Effect. So
yeah, so I mean, it's the straight up the studio that made it doesn't really even exist at this point. I mean, they still exist, but they're not physically making anything currently. They're somewhere else probably helping the Star Wars game and then the Anthem and all that stuff.
Yep. Yeah, which is unfortunate. Because like we said, it's a really fun franchise. It sucks that they're putting it on the shelf, and fucking it.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I mean, a lot of this can also allude to the fact that BioWare Edmonton, the main BioWare facility, is working on Anthem.
Yeah, which is they're hoping that this is their next big hit. They want this to explode. They want this to be their next giant hit.
Yeah, which I don't really know how I feel about that, honestly.
I want them to not don't try to make hits. Just try to make solid games and then make them hits. They didn't release Mass Effect thinking this is gonna be a solid hit. This is gonna be a good game. This is gonna be a solid hit. They released it because they're we believe in this product. We believe that this game is good. The story we're telling is solid. We're gonna release it, and then it became a hit, and then it sold really well, and then it got sequels.
Yeah.
Don't release a game saying we're gonna support it for 10 years. It's gonna be a hit. It's gonna be a giant hit. It's gonna make us tons of money. The game's not even out yet. You don't know that.
Yeah. It's not even out. Exactly, it's not even out yet, and now they're saying that with Anthem now, which is really freaking ironic. The tone is going to be more in line with a Star Wars type of feel, versus Mass Effect type feel, which
that's what they said in the interview. They're we want Anthem to feel more like Star Wars opposed to Mass Effect.
But Mass Effect was derived from Star Wars.
You look at Knights of the Old Republic, a Star Wars game, which Mass Effect borrowed so much from that game. Such a good game. But you look at Mass Effect, you compare Knights of the Old Republic to Mass Effect, you see they borrowed so many things, which Mass Effect was so heavily influenced by Star Wars, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
And then you're going to say, our new IP isn't influenced by Mass Effect, it's influenced by Star Wars? That doesn't make any sense. Star Wars is the main influence of both of these games. You can't say that one is not influenced by the other. Yes, it is.
But, I mean, if they said we're going to influence this more on Star Wars versus Star Trek, that would make more sense, because Star Trek is based off the fantasy in Star Trek is based off of actual science, versus Star Wars is just pure fantasy.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, but I mean, if they're trying to get the message across that they're basing it off Star Wars, it's probably because they're basing it off of a fantasy world. This is a fantasy universe with fantasy laws and physics and all that stuff.
Yeah, so you're going to be able to do stuff, and it's going to be you know what?
Why not?
it's space. It's the future. That's why you can do it.
There's no science explaining it. I mean, which is good. Which is some people like it, some people don't. But it's just kind of nah.
I mean, you look at Star Wars. Once they start explaining stuff a little too much, it starts to lose its magic with the midichlorians and the Force and all that shit. Don't explain that to me, because once you explain it to me, it sounds stupid. No, I'm okay. Yeah.
By the way, have you ever heard of the tragedy of Death Plagueis the Wise?
I thought not.
Oh my god, we love prequel memes. Just prequel memes is the best place on Reddit right now.
It really is.
But yeah, anyway, it's like I said, I don't know how I want to feel about Anthem, because here's the thing. They brought out Mass Effect, which is solid trilogy.
Yeah.
The first one was a solid game. Then they brought out Dragon Age Origins, another solid game, very solid game.
Yeah.
The sad thing about Dragon Age is that how many games were there? 3? Yeah.
Dragon Age 1, 2, and Inquisition. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so Origins 2 and Inquisition. 2 story was pretty good. However, the setting was shit because it was just like the same fucking map over and over
they
again.
They tried to streamline it a little too much.
Yeah. And then Dragon Age Origin or Dragon Age Inquisition was more like Dragon Age Hinterlands.
Yeah.
That's all you were in. I didn't even finish that game either.
Oh.
And I mean the combat wasn't that great. And
I hated the combat in that game. Oh my god.
It was really rough. It was very rough. And then you can see a lot of Inquisition in Andromeda, and it's just kind of like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, this is everything we didn't want in Mass Effect. Why are you putting all this stuff in Mass Effect?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like when they release those they release those games, and I'm thinking about Anthem. I keep saying Horizon for some reason.
It's just one of those one-word games where it's just like the sunset, and like it's just stop with the one-word games. Like, come on.
Anyway, I'm thinking about Anthem, and I'm thinking like, okay, so what if Anthem is a success? What if they release a sequel to Anthem and it turns out to be shit?
Yeah.
Just because they're trying to like capitalize on the success, and it's just kind of like, come on.
Yeah,
just make a game to make a game.
Exactly. Yeah, don't make games like just to like, oh, we're gonna make this game. It's gonna be a big old hit. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be around for 10 years. 10 years of Anthem. It's like just make a game, like you said, to make a solid game. Like I feel like the AAA games like this and like the big studios, they don't release games just to make games. They release games because they want it to be a hit, and then they like err on the side. Yes, they err on the side of making money. So like, we're not going to take chances with this game. We're going to do what makes money and what's proven. So you don't take any risks. Your game's boring.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just a big.
I mean, we'll see. It comes up pretty soon.
Wait and see.
It comes up spring 2018. So we'll look forward to Anthem.
Han Solo. In space.
I love it. I love it.
As more news for this game comes out, we'll try to report on it. I mean, if it's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo, we maybe won't, but we'll see. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. Stay tuned for some more videos, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And follow us on the Twitter, ChrisAndZachAttack. Follow us on Instagram, ChrisAndZachAttack. And follow us on Twitch, SgtMajorCool,
ZachAttack 4131.
and ChrisAndZachAttack, the join community channel.
That's us.
And thanks for watching. Everything you do will help us rise to the top.